Everyone's favorite purple genocidal maniac comes in all shapes and sizes, but which one is the strongest?
Tell me his name again.
Thanos is one of the most notorious Marvel villains ever created. He has accomplished feats ranging from the destruction of the entire universe, all the way to, being arrested by very normal police officers when his brilliant helicopter plan didn't work out. In the vast Marvel multiverse, the Mad Titan himself exists in several variants, and some versions prove to be an unstoppable match for any heroes from any universe. Which Thanos will reign supreme as the most powerful of them all? Let's find out right now. There admittedly are not many versions of Thanos that fight for good. In an alternate timeline, Thanos was sent to a parallel reality and forced to live life as a hero, being forced to prove himself worthy of staying alive. In this reality, Thanos becomes the leader of the Avengers on a roster that includes Miss Marvel, Vision, Sam Wilson's Captain America, Jane Foster's Thor, and a few others. After Abomination dismantles the rest of the team, Thanos, defending his new friends, shoots a powerful blast at Emil Blonsky and pummels him into a crater. Something about fighting for your life makes this version of Thanos an extremely powerful one. There is a version of Thanos who joins the Avengers in a much more Thanos way. In a what-if storyline, a race called the Builders are attacking a foreign world and have Thanos' son held captive. Thanos needs the help of the Avengers to get his son back and does so by killing their leader. Claiming it was a member of the Builders responsible for the death of Captain America, Thanos actually takes up the shield to lead the team. This version of Thanos possesses disintegration beams from his eyes and hands and actually shows incredible prowess with the vibranium shield. There's really no other way to explain this one than to just jump right in. Thermos is a version of Thanos from a parody comic entitled What the... and you can fill in the blank yourself. This comic clearly sought to make fun of normal happenings of the Marvel Universe, and boy did it succeed. It contained characters such as the Incredible Bulk, Sor instead of Thor, and obviously the mad villain Thermos. Thermos was quite the, chef. He sought the, and I swear, please Google this, I'm not making it up, Infinity Mitten, and aimed to win Death's heart. This comic is so weird. Mario shows up, an alternate Mephisto and Thermos go on a double date with Death and her sister Taxes, Thermos cooks up an ultimate plan to barbecue the parodied Avengers on a giant grill. All of this insanity aside, the power that Thermos shows is kind of incredible. I mean, the mitten gives him the power to warp reality to his will. And gaining the power to cook up heroes on a giant grill is certainly something I wouldn't know how to defend against. In 2012, Thanos made his glorious on-screen debut, grinning to make audiences everywhere ask their random cousin who they didn't know that well but definitely reads a lot of comic books, "Hey Jeff, who is that purple dude with the messed up chin?" A few years later, we would see this glorified cameo blossom into one of the greatest on-screen comic book villains we've ever seen. Not only was this portrayal so satisfying for every comic book movie lover, but the MCU actually portrays Thanos with an incredible amount of power. He is able to take on the Hulk with relative ease, is supposedly the first to wield more than one Infinity Stone at the time, wielding all 6, and takes on Captain America, Iron Man, and Thor with an impressive showing. He cracked Cap's shield, wielded Stormbreaker, and actually succeeds in wiping out half of the life in the universe. The MCU Thanos is so powerful, they had to kill him twice. The Poisons were a race of beings from an alternate dimension, completely venomized by symbiotes. Many of the characters are versions of the main Marvel characters with a symbiote upgrade. The Poison Hive was led by the Queen, believed to be the Mistress Death, with Poison Thanos right at her side. He led several attacks against alternate dimensions, attempting to consume the bioorganic hosts that inhabited that world. Essentially, Poison Thanos has a combination of all the powers of Venom and Thanos, making him an unholy creation that packs every powerful punch imaginable. More often than not, Marvel characters are much stronger than their Ultimate Universe counterparts. Thanos is a very extreme exception to this rule, as the Ultimate Thanos possesses immensely more strength, as well as a bevy of other powers that the Earth 616 Thanos would, well, kill for. In the Ultimate Universe, with the help of the Cosmic Cube, Thanos began his expansion on the planet Acheron and nearly conquered the entire universe. After the destruction of his cube, his expansion ended, but the empire that Thanos had built was massive. He ruled with an iron fist and outmatched nearly every other character in terms of power. His abilities include super enhanced strength, ability to lift over 100 tons, a cosmic awareness that allows him to view other events happening anywhere in the universe, and a mastery over his own mind, giving him the ability to control others and have them bend to his will. Lastly, Thanos has the ability to manipulate cosmic energy, which he uses as a valuable offensive weapon, as well as a means to resurrect himself from the dead. How many times has this happened to you? You're walking down the street and some random dude runs up to you asking you which is better, Marvel or DC. Your answer, of course, is why not both? The The same can be said for the two greatest villains in each universe. At least, that's what the Amalgam comics proved during their Marvel and DC crossover event. Thanoseid was a combination of Thanos and Darkseid, with both of their powers as well as their ambitions and accomplishments. Thanoseid was the ruler of Apocalypse and desired to destroy the universe to win the affection of Lady Death. Combining the powers of Thanos with the most feared being in the ungodly DC universe is one unbelievably overwhelming combination. Thanos, being the mad genius he is, once dabbled in a classic villainous trope used by the Emperor, Doctor Doom, the Wicked Witch of the West maybe, Jaws. I've lost my train of thought. Cloning! Thanos, in his nihilistic state, once combined android and mystical energies spliced with his own DNA and the various DNAs of other Marvel characters. All of the clones possessed the powers of Thanos as well as whoever's DNA was mixed in. Thanos, eventually turning over a slightly new leaf, discontinued his cloning when versions matching characters such as Thor and Captain America stuck too much to Thanos' nihilism. Unfortunately, a group of these clones escaped and formed a group called the Thanosi. Thanosi was led by X, a large-headed Thanos meant to match the powers of the mutant Charles Xavier. X was able to out-psychic Moondragon and nearly tore Spider-Man, Captain Marvel, and Gamora to shreds. Armor was a metal version of Thanos meant to be a match for Earth's Tony Stark. He nearly killed Gamora until the original Thanos tricked him to his death. Warrior was a Thanos replicant combined with the hero known as Gladiator. His powers were stacked and included super breath, healing, flight, as well as other powers possessed by Gladiator and Thanos. Finally, Mystic was meant to be the Thanos counterpart to Doctor Strange, even battling the Sorcerer Supreme in a magical duel. He could even sense the deaths of the Thanosi members when they eventually occurred. There was a fifth member of the Thanosi who is definitely the most powerful version of any Thanos the universe has ever seen. During Thanos' cloning shenanigans, he created something he knew he would come to regret. By his own words, this was a mistake from the very beginning. During his experiments of mixing characters' DNA with his own, he created the Omega. The Omega was a combination of Thanos' DNA and none other than the Destroyer of Worlds, Galactus. Not only did the Omega possess all of the powers of both Thanos and Galactus, but after Captain Marvel sensed his cosmic energy, he claimed that the Omega's power dwarfed even that of the original Galactus. Thanos didn't give his new abomination the power of speech. After all, why bother with verbal communication when you possess such might? The Omega knew nothing but destruction and wiped out parts of the Earth with nothing but his hand. It took several of the universe's mightiest heroes teamed up with Thanos attempting to destroy his creation, and a couple of warships to finally take down this Goliath and one of the most powerful versions of Thanos ever seen. The One Above All has for a long time in Marvel Comics been this omnipotent, unstoppable force that can basically do anything. In the Infinity Ending storyline, Thanos had gained an unbelievable amount of powers by absorbing cosmic entities. These entities ranged from Lady Death all the way up to Eternity and the Living Tribunal. Thanos, seeking even more power, did something that was unheard of. He challenged the One Above All and defeated him, absorbing his power. This created by far the most powerful version of Thanos ever seen, as he would become Marvel's new One Above All, with the power to literally do anything. Thanos has been a zero, a hero, and conquered the universe. Whether he's flipping burgers or controlling the texture of reality, he is still one of the most feared names in the galaxy. Which version of Thanos do you think is the most powerful? And why is it Thermos?